And you mentioned Candace Owens. I know you've been on her show. She's been on our show here. We had her husband, George Farmer, on a couple weeks ago. I mean, explain the force that she is and how important she is to this entire conversation and this entire movement. And, you know, what's she like off camera? What's it like to have this person there who's maybe an ally with you in this message?
Well, I consider her to be a 100% ally. And it's critical that young people like Candace Owens have the courage to get out and say the kinds of things that they're saying. She is smart, she is young, she's attractive, she is fearless, she's articulate, and she knows what she's talking about. And she will inspire a lot of young black people, again, to rethink their assumptions the way Kanye West did. When Kanye West came out in favor of President Trump, within a matter of weeks, polls changed, at least for black men. It appeared that the support for Trump among black men literally doubled shortly after Kanye West came out and supported him. So I believe that people like Candace Owens, Kanye West, King Face, and some of the other young blacks who are in my documentary are the army that's going to cause more and more people to wake up and to begin to rethink their allegiance to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and I was so impressed with like how Candace almost doubled down in the middle of all this, you know, the protests and the BLM, and she just went, you know, and even harder and said, no, I really believe this. And I mean, talk about fearless. I had a lot of respect for her to do that when, you know, she could have just kept her head down for a month and she didn't. So I was super impressed by that. Talk to me about Kanye, because, you know, he's been talking about this for a while. He's been wearing the MAGA hat for a while when it was not popular, when there weren't, you know, a lot of these conversations that were front and center, but something in his gut obviously told him something different. And I think because Kanye is in some ways has always done his own thing, he felt comfortable about saying something that was deeply unpopular and even confusing for some people. Tell me about how him being outspoken has been powerful, or a powerful message for the youth.
Well, again, he is so respected. I forget how many tens of millions of people he has on Twitter and on his social media following. But when Kanye West says anything, people pay attention, it moves the needle. Tupac Shakur even once said, I know for a fact that had a father, I would have been more disciplined, I would have been more confident. Even Tupac Shakur said that. And there's a movie called Roman Israel Esquire, starring Denzel Washington. It's about a criminal defense lawyer, a black criminal defense lawyer. And when the movie came out on the red carpet, some entertainment reporter put a mic in his face and said, tell me about the mass incarceration of black people. And I just knew that Denzel Washington was going to do a number on how the police were getting black people, yada, blah, et cetera. Instead, he didn't do that at all. He said, it all starts in the home. If you don't have a family, the courts become the streets become your home, the courts become your family, and the jail becomes where you end up living. I'm paraphrasing, I butchered the quote, but the point is he did not blame the man, he did not blame racism. He talked about the importance of fathers in the home. That's what he said. Denzel Washington said that. Tupac Shakur said that. Kanye West has now said that. A think tank on the left, the Brookings Institution, said that. So maybe, just maybe, we ought to be talking about what's gone wrong with the families and how we can repair families, as opposed to talking about things like reparations.